Any thoughts on how to get rid of the stage fear for young kids who are watching or parents who are watching us?
Go on stage. Be on stage. That's the only way. I used to tremble. I wanted it so bad, but the first time I went and did elocution, poetry reading, like a poetry recital when I was 7th standard, I was shivering from top to bottom. And I still remember the poem was "O Captain, My Captain" by Walt Whitman. That was the poem. And I was shuddering, but I just finished it. And because my teacher said that whatever happens, if you freeze, just finish it. And once I finished it, there was scattered applause, but I still got some applause. And that gave me confidence to go again. And with every time I went again, it's like practicing to play a match. And if you're practicing like a cricketer, your stroke is only going to get better with practice.
True that.
The same thing applies to life. Same thing applies to theatre. Same thing applies to fear. And then I think if you just move and take the word fear and make it curiosity. That if I don't do this, what am I missing? I'm missing the feeling of fear. I'm missing getting rid of fear. I'm missing getting the applause. All of these things I'm going to miss.
Right.
Try it once. What's the worst that can happen? You can just freeze and people will not clap at all. That's the worst. And our attention span today in our current generation is so less. People are going to forget in 2 days. But embrace that and move forward.
Not even 2 days, dude.
Not
Like
even
it's
2 days,
like
maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah.
1 hour actually 1 hour is right. Because something new will come in 1 hour.
Now, how did you bridge your next move with improv? Like from theatre, were you landing roles in the movies, or what was your intent being in theatre?
I used to direct plays. So I started writing my own plays very early.
That's when Nagesh, Mr.
Yeah, after
Nagesh,
Nagesh sir said that, I immediately took that as a very big advice, and I just started writing a lot. I used to read quite a bit when I was growing up, and
what are you reading?
I used to read a lot. I read To Kill a Mockingbird very early in my life, by Harper Lee, and I don't know if you have read the book To Kill a Mockingbird. It's a very beautiful book. It's one
What's
of the
it about?
classics.
Yeah?
It's about it's a relationship about a father who's a lawyer and his daughter, and both of them there, and it's about the racism. It's about an African American committing a crime in a very sort of a white dominated society, where the father plays the lawyer, and it's about how he has to find somehow. Explain to the daughter through another person's voiceover, who's another kid in the locality, who's the voiceover of the book, and the voiceover of that kid is explaining the journey of the father-daughter, and through them they see racism. They see how to approach the racism. How do you go past racism and become strong? And I think I read it when I was in the 8th grade, and I couldn't understand it, but I understood portions of it because the writing was so interesting that whenever it was about the daughter's perspective. It showed me something that I could understand. And then I reread it when I was more than a teenager. When I reread it, I had renewed interest in the book because it gave me so many layers. And then I watched the movie that was made with Gregory Peck, which is another classic. I think it just tied in some beautiful elements for me about it's about also you have to be strong towards injustice, and that is the theme of the To Kill a Mockingbird, is to be strong against injustice, through an eyes of a kid who's talking to her father, and it was a beautiful book. So I think that book resonated to me how important it is to understand written text, and that was the journey. And I started writing then, and I started writing plays. I've directed a few musicals as well at that time. So my 4 years of my engineering, I ended up directing 12 plays. I used to do about 2 to 3 plays every year. And in the first year itself, I remember my principal, Mr. Ramanathan from Ramaya College. He's not, I don't know, he's not the principal anymore, but he called me. Someone came to my class like, Saad Khan, the principal kare bani. And I was like, oh shit, what did I do? And I was standing over there, I was outside with the peon, and I was like, Yenaito sir, illa principal sir, matadbeku. Okay. So I sat down, and he didn't look at me for the first few seconds. He looked up, he said, good day biscuit beka. And I was like, why? Yes sir, I don't mind. And he got me good day biscuit because I just come in Bangalore Times at that time for a play. I'd come on the front page, and this was my 3rd semester. So he looked at that, he's like,
Gunde biscuit.
Saad Khan? I said, Saad Khan. I said, okay, do more of this. I want you to do more of this. Attendance and all will take care. Get Ramaya name outside. I want more popularity of Ramaya name. You go. Do theatre and all that. Keep doing theatre. But I want more write-ups. And attendance will take care. Don't worry. And I was shocked. I was like, what? That's why the Nograj universe, I have so much love for the universe, is because of all these beautiful people.
You are like a sponge, dude. Like you've just been collecting all of that in your kitty for it to now get channelized one day and explode into a beautiful character.
I was so lucky with Mr. Ramnath, right? What he did for me. Any other principal would have never done that. And this is a big college. Ramaya was a big college, and he did that for me. And that was for me like a sentiment that, okay, it's not been like taken away. Someone is saying, illa ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿ. We are there. ನಾನು support ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. From there my journey started. So all my theatre, everything, I would invite my professors. In fact, he also has come to Chowdia to watch a play as a principal. In that time, I still remember, and he met me, and he was beaming with pride. And I think all of those moments sort of catapulted me in my head to like, okay, you know what? I got to keep doing this. I got to keep doing this because these are the people who have some belief that something can happen. And so everything, touch wood, that's happened in my life, whether it's films, web series, improv, has happened because of encouragement. It's absolute sheer selfless encouragement, which I feel a lot of parents should do for their kids, and a lot of teachers are doing today. That's why there are so many young content creators today. I'm sure you meet a lot of them as well.
Yeah, I think the world is different today. It's not money alone. Indian families are in a better situation today, and it's not the money driving their life choices.
It's creativity.
Alone,
it's
right.
creativity. It's to tell a story, something new, so that even a person who's doing the work, they are at the end of the night, they feel happy with what they've done in the day, and not going back and be like, hey, nale again, you know, that and so many people go through that, and I kind of feel bad for that. And I have a lot of people who come to workshops as well who are like in corporate, but they're like, Illa, one creative, I need to have some creative outlet,
some side hustle, which is kind of giving them the deep satisfaction, you know.
And a lot of them, the side hustle has become a main hustle now, which we'll get into. I mean, there are some examples that I can give as well.
Any word of advice for Gen Zs who are watching you right now?
They should advise us.
Yeah. How to look at life in terms of the creativity, and you know how they can build a career through that lens.
Oh, that's a fabulous question. Gen Zs, I love them. Okay,
Why?
Because I earlier I used to why that's a great question. Why? Yeah. Okay.
No, because what did you see in them? Like there must be something that
they are unapologetically creative. I love that they're so unapologetically creative that they will just do it without thinking. At that age, I remember, I definitely think that I was a little different at that time. And I'm sure, like me, there were a lot of other creative people who were different at that time when we were in our teens.
different as in?
To do it. Like, I was someone who would cross the road. I would not be like thinking 10 times, what's coming? I would just cross the road. And at that time, I know so many of my peers who wanted to do something but didn't.
Fear or something stopped them.
Something stopped them. So at that time, if they would have been like, say, on 100%, there would be about 30% or 40% who would not do it. Today, that number is very less.
Yeah?
It's only 5 to 10%.
Oh, they're like
90% is like, let's try.
Let's cross the road.
Let's cross the road.
Let's see
What's
what
the
happens.
worst that's going to happen? Yeah. Let's take more risks.
What do you think that has kind of led to the change?
Competition, environment. Earlier there used to be, for one job, there used to be 1,000 positions. Now for one job, there is 1 lakh positions.
Oh.
So you got to get your, you got to be more charming, more proactive. You got to have a personality that people can't ignore.
Survive, right?
And now the survival instinct is obviously there. But I like Gen Zs because they're so up with the trends.
How do they do that?
Because they have everything on their phones, right?
Internet, right?
Internet, yeah. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
We didn't
So
have
they have
that.
access to information.
Like that. And they use it. Of course, there in every generation there are going to be like some naysayers. Some of them are not going to. But I work a lot with younger people. In my direction team, there are younger people, and I purposely take them because if I'm making a movie, I can't just make a movie for Gen X and millennials. I've got to make a movie for a family that's coming and watching. Or when I'm doing an improv show, I have a lot of Gen Zs who come for my improv show, and I'm a millennial. I also have to be at their level to make them laugh.
Absolutely. They're not relating to your
My comedy. I can't
comedy,
talk about 1980s mein ye hota tha. 2000 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ, I can't do that. I have to talk about what's happening currently. So they're very current, and I love that about them. Of course, there's a certain level of laziness, but that's there in every generation. When we were millennials, our parents would be like, hey, lazy you are, waste you are. I'm sure I've heard that from my parents. At some point they'll be like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you not why are you not going to college and doing my mother used to always be like, why are you doing rehearsals? What are you going to get out of theatre? For 1 year she made my life miserable.
Mm-hmm.
But then I obviously had to show my work for her to then believe that yes, he actually really means it. He's not just doing time pass. So a lot of Gen Zs, they are pushing themselves out there to do it. And I get inspired by them.